So topic of my today's webinar is dairy farming as a viable entrepreneurial option. So first of all, what is entrepreneurship? You might be knowing that what is entrepreneurship. So who is an entrepreneur? Any person who makes some investment, who take risk, and who is responsible for the profit or loss. He is not getting fixed salary. Unlike the salaried person who is getting some fixed salary. For example, as we are getting some fixed salary, but entrepreneur does not have fixed salary. He take the risk, he make the investment, and he may earn profit or he may bear the loss. So that is entrepreneur. So dairy farming as an entrepreneur is a viable option, profitable option, it is sustainable option. So I will touch the various aspects of the dairy farming, starting from the current status of dairy farming, then its economics, and then various concerns faced by the dairy farming sector and how to resolve those problems. One second. Yes. टाइटल मुझे शो नहीं हो रहा ऊपर, पता नहीं आपको हो रहा होगा या नहीं. Contribution title, beta, is title visible to you? Ketan, is title visible to you? Contribution of agriculture, then it is not visible to
Yes,
me.
sir.
Contribution
Yes,
of agriculture. Oh, okay, but it's not fully visible to me. Okay, contribution of agriculture sector to the GDP. Now, agriculture and allied activities. Agriculture is broad term. Agriculture and allied means crop as well as other allied activities, means livestock activities. So this agriculture and allied together employs 60% of the population, means our 60% population of the nation is dependent directly or indirectly on agriculture and allied activities. Whereas in case of developed countries, this share is only 5 to 10%. It means there is huge pressure, huge population pressure in our country on the agriculture sector. And within agriculture, we are having livestock subcomponent. Livestock means dairy farming, poultry, goat farming, pig farming, and fish farming. And this table shows the contribution of crops and livestock sector to the national GDP, or you can say national income. See, the contribution of crop sector, it has declined from 11.8% to 10% over the time, whereas that of livestock sector has increased from 4 to 4.9%. And within the agriculture sector, because livestock is subcomponent of agriculture sector, so within the agriculture and allied, its share is increasing. See, it increased from 22 to 28%. It means livestock sector is contributing to the, contributing about 28% of the total agriculture and allied income. And within the livestock sector, because livestock sector means dairy, poultry, goat farming, pig farming, and within the livestock sector, major contribution is by the dairy sector. Dairy sector means milk group. So milk group contributes 70% income of the livestock sector. Then livestock farming, or you can say dairy farming, is a regular source of regular income, household nutritional security, and regular employment. And livestock is a security asset. When you are in need of cash, you can sell the animals and earn the immediate cash. And there is strong demand for the animal-based food, which is driven by rising incomes, population growth, urbanization, and health awareness. And then livestock farming is more profitable as compared to the crop farming. I will show you the comparison in the coming slides. And then one more important thing is that livestock farming is poverty reducing. Make a comparison of the states where share of livestock is higher and where the share of livestock is lower in the agricultural income. For example, in Punjab, the share of livestock in agriculture income is about 40%, whereas poverty, rural poverty is very low in Punjab. And in case of Odisha, Bihar, where the share of livestock is less to the agriculture income, means those states are more dependent on the crops. and in those states poverty is higher. So livestock sector can help in reducing the poverty. If we invest more, if we develop our livestock sector, then the rural poverty can be reduced. And lastly, farmer suicides versus dairy farmer. You might have heard the various stories of farmers committing suicides. Have you heard any dairy farmer committing suicide? No, because dairy farming is a source of regular income. It provides you income daily, regular employment. Whereas in case of crops, there is seasonal income and seasonal employment. You get the income after 6 months, and sometimes due to some climatic factors. For example, if there is more rain, the crops are damaged, then there will be less or no income. This slide is of Punjab share of agriculture in GDP. See the contribution of this green color figure. This is contribution of crops to the total agriculture income. It was 70% during 1980 and it reduced to 59% during recent years. And side by side, the income, or you can say contribution of livestock sector is increasing. It increased from 30 to 40%. It means the importance of livestock sector is increasing day by day. It is becoming growth engine of the livestock agricultural sector. And within livestock sector, as I have told, at India level, the contribution of milk sector is 70%, whereas in case of Punjab, the contribution of dairy sector within the livestock sector is 81%. Remaining 19% is from the goat farming, pig farming, and what else? Fish farming, etc. Then this slide shows the growth rates of crop and livestock sector over time. Means during the period 2011 to 2019 at constant prices. Constant prices means after removing the effect of inflation. How? By dividing the appropriate index numbers. This is the real growth rate, not the nominal, because there will be some increase in the value due to the inflation. But when we remove that effect by dividing with the appropriate index number, then this is the real growth rate. So this is called at constant prices. So see the growth rate. Total agriculture's growth rate is 2.27% per annum, whereas that of crop sector, because crop sector, livestock sector are the subcomponents of agriculture sector. Crop sector's growth is only 0.6. It means there is almost stagnation in the crop sector. And see the growth rate of the livestock sector. It is 6.73% per annum, and fishery sector 7.28. It means livestock sector along with fishery sector are the connect as the growth engine for the agriculture sector, for accelerating the growth of the agriculture sector, as there is stagnation in the crop farmers. Then these are the various countries, their rank according to the milk production. So India ranks first in world with respect to the milk production. It produces 18% of the world milk. And after India, USA, then China, then Pakistan. And India is home to 55% buffaloes of the world and 13% cows. If we look into the livestock sector, then milk group, as I have earlier told, it is the major contributor, contributing 2/3 of the total income, 70% at India level. And Indian dairy sector has evolved from rags to riches. In pre-independence era, there was scarcity of milk and there was dependence on the imports. And after the 1990s, after the Operation Floods, then India emerged as top milk producing country. And presently, it is producing 197 million tons, 18% of world milk production. And with regard to the per capita milk availability, so it has increased from 128 grams during 1980 to 407 grams per day per capita during 2018-19. And Punjab is at the top with regard to the per capita milk availability. It is having 1225 grams. Then these are the trends of milk production and milk availability in India. There is continuous increase in the milk production and per capita milk availability. And now after 2000, the production is increased mainly by the productivity, not by the population, because in the recent years there is stagnation in the livestock population, but the milk production is continuously increasing. Now earlier it was increasing due to both two reasons. First is the population growth, second is the productivity growth. But at present, or you can say during the last 10 to 15 years, there is only one main reason, that is the productivity growth, as there is stagnation in the livestock populations. Then these are the major milk producing states of India. Punjab ranks 6th with regard to the milk production. It produces 6.71% of the India's milk, but with only 2.16, see the footnote, with only 2.16% of the dairy animals. It doesn't mean that if Punjab is at number 6, it means it is not leading dairy state. Uttar Pradesh is at the top, but you cannot say it to be a leader in the dairy sector, because in those states the number of animals is quite high, whereas in Punjab it is contributing 6.7% with only 2.16% of the dairy animals. Then see, बेटे माइक किसी का ऑन है, ऑफ कर लो जिसका है. Then number of households in Punjab, 8.9 lakh households are rearing cows and 14.3 lakh are rearing buffaloes. See, so the livestock farm is source of income to the lakhs of the households in Punjab as well as in India. So with regard to the, we are having various types of cattle, indigenous cattle, two types of cattle, indigenous cattle and crossbred cattle. बेटे माइक ऑफ करो, किसी बच्चे का माइक ऑन है. 70% of the cattle are indigenous with quite low productivity, and these does not provide gainful employment to the households owning them. Then this slide shows the composition of buffalo and cattle at India level. See, out of the total cattle, 26% are the crossbred and 74% are indigenous cattle. So see the overtime trend. The population of crossbreds is increasing continuously, whereas that of indigenous, it is continuously declining. So this is good indication. The population of low producers are becoming less, and population of the crossbreds which are having high productivity, it is increasing at India level. And with regard to buffalo, its population has almost stagnated. See, 105 in 2007, then 108, 109. There is almost stagnation in the population, and the proportion of female, it is more than 90% in case of buffalo and crossbred cows, whereas in case of indigenous cattle, the proportion of female is 69%. It means still we are having 31% of the male population, which is a matter of concern. Then composition of population at Punjab. See the overtime trends in crossbred population. It is increasing over time. So it has reached 82%. It means of the total cattle population. The total cattle population in Punjab is 24.73 lakh, and out of this 82% is crossbred, and the remaining 18% is the indigenous, and the population of indigenous cattle is continuously declining. See, it has increased slightly during 2019 as compared to 2012, because this is due to the focus of the government on the promotion of or preservation of the indigenous elite breeds. For example, Saibal breed. Government is promoting Saibal breed by providing various type of subsidies to the farmers. That's why this population has slightly increased during 2019. Now see the buffalo population. The buffalo population is continuously declining. it has reached 40 lakh during 2019. So there is continuous decline in the buffalo population. It doesn't mean the importance of buffalo is declining. So there is misconception among the various persons that the population of buffalo is declining, the importance of buffalo is declining. But no, the importance of buffalo is not declining. This decline in population is due to mainly two factors. First, the male population is declining, then unproductive animals population is declining, then low producers, the animals which were low producers, their population is declining, those are being sold for the slaughtering. And one more reason, some high yield animals are sold to the other states for the breeding purpose at quite good prices. So the buffalo population, no doubt it is declining, its importance is, it is not declining, its importance is increasing day by day in the state. Then see the yield levels. This is the productivity, or you can say yield per animal per day. So crossbred cow in Punjab has reached 13 liters a day, and at India level, this figure is 7.85. And with regard to the buffaloes, the recent yield per day is 9.7 liter per day compared to 6.3 liter at India level. So there is continuous increase in the productivity levels, and see the comparison of Punjab with comparison to India. Punjab is having quite high productivity as compared to the rest of the states, and Punjab is at the top among all the states of the country with respect to the yield per animal per day. So in this sense, you can say that Punjab is the leading dairy state. No doubt it is at number 6 with respect to the milk production, but with respect to the per capita milk availability and with respect to the per animal yield per day, Punjab is at the number 1. Then contribution of various species to the milk production. In Punjab, the left-hand side diagram is of Punjab and right-hand side is of India. In Punjab, 71% milk is contributed by the buffaloes. See the importance of buffalo. No doubt their population is declining, but still their contribution is 71% to the total milk production. And 26% is contributed by the crossbred cattle, and approximately 2% by indigenous cattle, and approximately 1%. This is rounded off figure. Actually, it is 0.6. So 0.6% by goats. This is the goats contribution. Whereas at India level, 49% contribution is by the buffaloes. Then the contribution of crossbred cattle is 27, and that of indigenous cattle is 21, and that of goat is 3%. So the buffaloes are the future dairy animals of Punjab. These are also known as black gold, kala sona bolte hain buffalo ko. These are the neglected animals because no one has bothered about breed improvements of the buffaloes by, or for example, there was lot of investment for the breed improvement of the crossbreeding, but there was no efforts on the buffalo improvement. But recently, the focus has changed toward the buffalo for realizing its potential, because its potential is not fully realized yet. There is a lot of potential in buffalo which can be realized. Then this table shows the comparative advantage of buffalo in value addition. The buffalo milk is rich in solids, fats, proteins as compared to cow and goat milk. Then relative advantage of buffalo milk and value addition. Suppose I have made this calculation. Suppose you are having 100 kg of milk, which can be processed into paneer. So you are having 100 kg of buffalo milk and 100 kg of cow milk. So you converted that milk into paneer, and how much you can earn? See, 866 from buffalo milk and 531 from cow milk, and value of addition was 24% in buffalo milk and 14% in cow milk. So if you prepare the products from the buffalo milk, you can be having more profit as compared to the product prepared from the cow milk, because in cow milk the proportion of the total solid is less. Then 40 kg Milk processed into milk cake. Again, 35% value addition from buffalo milk and 24% from the cow milk. These figures show the importance of the buffalo milk in the value addition. Then comparative economics of buffalo and cow. So suppose we are having rupees 10 lakh with us, and I have assumed that the farmer is having some shed. I have not assumed the construction of the shed, because farmers are almost having some shed, some sort of buildings. They can convert that into dairy shed by 1 lakh, 2 lakh, or 3 lakh rupees of investment. By, you can say, minor modifications in the existing building to convert those buildings into the dairy shed. So with 10 lakhs of rupee, we can rear 9 buffaloes and 10 buffaloes and 9 crossbred cows, and see the income, net income per year, 1.5 lakh, 1.52 lakh from buffaloes and 1.3 lakh from cows. And if I compare it with per acre basis, per acre means, for example, you are having 1 acre of land. On that 1 acre of land, you can grow wheat and paddy, and from that crop rotation, you can earn maximum of 30 to 40,000 per annum if you include all types of cost, fixed as well as variable. Whereas on that same acre of land, you can grow fodder. If you grow green fodder for the dairy animals, and then you can earn 76,000 per acre, because approximately 5 milch animals can be reared on 1 acre of fodder, and from the cows you can earn 74,000 on per acre basis, and on per animal per year basis, 15,227 from buffaloes and 15,000 from crossbred cattle. See the importance. I think there is no difference. There is negligible difference, but buffaloes are not less as compared to crossbred cows. This analysis is based on the whole life cycle, because the longevity of the buffalo is more as compared to crossbred cattle. Crossbred cattle, they just give us 2, 3, or 4 lactations. After that, they start having some reproductive problems. Whereas buffaloes are native animals. There is no such problem in buffaloes, and we can rear buffaloes for 6, 7, or 8 lactations. And for the whole life time analysis, buffaloes are not less than crossbred cattle. Then importance of buffalo meat. So buffalo meat is healthiest because of lower intramuscular fats, cholesterol, calories, and the contribution of buffalo meat to the total meat production is 50% in Punjab and 19% in India. Buffalo meat is a potential source of income for the dairy farmers, and Punjab produces 8.58% of the India's buffalo meat, with only 4.75% of the buffalo population. So in the next slide, I have developed a model for the buffalo calf rearing. If we rear the buffalo calf for exclusively for the meat purpose, because this is not possible in the cows due to religious issues, but in case of buffaloes, there is no such religious issue, and we can rear buffalo male calves for the meat purpose. We can rear them up to 1 year or 1.5 year, and then fatten them and then sell them for the meat purpose. So there are 27.8 lakh breedable buffalo population, considering 67% breeding efficiency, 18.6 lakh calves born per year, then 50-50 male female ratio that we are having, and 10% mortality. Then we are having 8.4 lakh male calves. And if 60% of these males, not all, 8.4 ka 60%, if we rear them for the meat purpose, then we can open 5,000 such units in Punjab of the size 100 male calf each, and we can generate additional income. See, 1,070 crores. Itana additional income we can generate, and self-employment of 5,000 persons and employment to 10,000 laborers. So this shows the importance of buffalo. We can have income from the milk production as well as from the meat production. Then there are various concerns of the dairy sector. There are various problems being faced by the dairy sector. And if we resolve these problems, if we are able to address these challenges or concerns, then the viability, or you can say profitability of the dairy farming can be further increased. Then buffalo and cattle breeds in India. See, of the total buffalo population, the pure breeds are only 17% and 39% are the graded animals. Graded means which are not pure breeds but having some characteristics of that breed. And then 43% are nondescript. Nondescript means we don't know which breed they belong. They don't have any feature which match with any of the breeds. Then in case of indigenous cattle, only 11.81% are the pure breeds and 13% graded, and 74% are the nondescript. See, in case of indigenous cattle at India level, the proportion of nondescript animals means which do not belong to any breed, which are very low producers. These are the burden on the dairy sector of India. So this proportion is quite high. There is urgent need to address this concern. Then effect of green fodder on milk yield. This work is done by my student as his master's research. So he has conducted a research on the green fodder economics. Then he divided the total number of animals studied into three groups. For the first groups, green fodder fed was less than 30 kg per day, and for the second group, 30 to 35, and for the third group, more than 35. And now see the milk yield of buffalo and cow. As the quantity of the green fodder increase, the milk yield also increase 6.51, 7, then 7.59. And there is significant difference between group 1 and group 3. And then I have calculated the correlation coefficient between milk yield and green fodder fat. So correlation coefficients was found to be positively significant. These were positive. It means there is positive relation between the green fodder fat and the milk yield. If we feed more green fodder, there will be more yield of the milk, and this correlation was significant at 5% level of significance. So hence, this shows the importance of green fodder. So if we are self-sufficient in green fodder, if we feed sufficient quantity of green fodder to the dairy animals, only then we will be able to realize their true potential. Now see the area under fodder. So area under fodder is almost stagnant. It has almost stagnated. See, 11.1% of the total gross cropped area, 11.24, 11. It has almost stagnated. So we are unable to bring more area under the fodder from the other crops. So if we bring more area under fodder, only then we will be able to increase the fodder production and to feed the animals sufficiently. Now, we have also calculated the fodder sufficiency, whether we are sufficient in fodder production or not. So our calculation showed that we are deficient in the green fodder. So we are deficient by 22.99 million tons, and this deficit in terms of percentage, it is 28.57% of the green fodder requirement as recommended by the university. So green fodder production can be increased by either increasing the fodder area or by improving the yield levels. But more emphasis should be given on the high yielding fodder varieties, because area under cultivation has almost stagnated. It no doubt it has started declining due to the construction of roads, buildings, urbanization. So we cannot bring more area under fodder. So we can only develop high yielding fodder varieties for the purpose of increasing the fodder production so that we can feed the animals properly. Then this slide shows the economics of dairy farming, cattle and buffalo for the various categories. So we have conducted this survey in the Punjab and 6 states. So the analysis shows that the first two categories, domestic and small. Domestic means 1 to 2 animals. Small category means 3 to 7 animals. So the first two categories are not much profitable. See, if we include the family labor, then the profit is negative, minus 3.12, minus 1.4. And if we exclude the family labor, अगर हम family labor की खर्चा निकाल दें, then it becomes slightly positive, but the actual profit starts from the medium category. So if the farmers want to have good incomes, good profit, then they should increase the size of their farm to the at least 8-9 animals. Otherwise, this is less profitable. And another issue is that the milk procurement prices, these are determined irrespective of the cost of production. These are determined according to the demand and supply. When there is more demand, the price increase. When there is less demand, the price decrease. There are seasonal fluctuations in the milk prices, whereas I will show in the next slide, input cost. See, 29% of the expenditure is on the green fodder in case of small category, and in case of medium category, 35% is on the green fodder, and then next labor, and then concentrate. So the main expenditure is on the green fodder, labor, and concentrate feed. So these expenditures are increasing continuously. See, over the years, the milk yield has increased very marginally, 2.64%, whereas the cost of production, it has increased by 72%. But milk procurement prices, those have increased by 55%. It means the pace of increase in cost of milk production is higher as compared to the pace of increase in milk procurement prices. Hence, the profit has declined. Per liter profit has declined by 21%. Okay, no doubt this profit has declined as compared to the previous years, but still dairy farming is more profitable as compared to the crop farming. Then milk utilization pattern in Punjab, 52% of the milk is marketable surplus and around 47% is the home retention, and 26% of the milk goes to the organized sector. Whereas at India level, 20% of the milk is with the organized sector and rest goes to the unorganized sector. This is also a major concern. Whereas in case of developed countries, all the milk goes to the organized sector. After processing, it comes back to the even to the farmers as well as to the other persons for the consumption. Then crossbreeding has helped the country. Billions of rupees have been spent in the last 50 years, but this crossbreeding has some issues at the field level. So what is the issue? The issue is the stray cattle, because when the cattle become unproductive or old, then what happens? The farmers let them roam on the roads. They leave them on the roads at night times, and this causes the various damages. These animals spread the zoonotic diseases and health hazards. These cause road accidents, and these cause damage to the field crops as well as to the grains in the grain markets. So this is the problem in case of cattle, but in case of buffalo, there is no such problem because the slaughter is allowed. Now, this slide shows the population of the stray cattle. So, see, in Punjab, there were 1 lakh stray cattle during 2012, but in 2019, this number increased to 1.4 lakh. So it has increased by 40%. Whereas at India level, this number has declined from 52.87 lakh to 50.21 lakh. So this is a major concern for the Punjab state. The number of stray cattle is increasing. How to control that? So basically, there are two solutions to this problem. One is there should be proper law, and there should be proper ban on the farmers who leave the animals on the roads. And secondly, this crossbred cattle, this I think should not be treated at par with the indigenous cattle, which is the holy cow. The indigenous cow is termed as holy cow, whereas crossbred cattle, it can be treated at par with the buffaloes, and the slaughter should be maybe or allowed. Then this is the title is not visible to me. Subsidies for the livestock and crop sector. See, on per acre basis. The subsidies for the crops are 9,400, whereas in case of livestock, only 41. See the disparity. For the crops, per acre subsidies more than 9,000, but in case of livestock, when converted on per acre basis, how? Just assuming that we can rear 4 or 5 animals on 1 acre of fodder, and we convert the total livestock subsidy into per acre basis. That is very, very bigger, 41 rupee only. And in case of fishery, it is 1,200. Again, less than the crop sector. So, but this livestock sector is contributing 40% of the total income, and its share in the subsidy is quite low. So there is a urgent need of increasing the subsidies of the livestock sectors to bring it at par with the crop sector. Then sources of future growth. Livestock numbers have stabilized. The future growth will be from the productivity, yield improvements. So we have to improve the feed resources, especially our green fodder and fodder seed. Then reduce the production losses due to diseases, breeding, reproduction, through technological interventions. And we have to go for the value addition of the products, because by value addition, we can increase the value of the milk by minimum by 25%. For example, you are having milk worth rupees 100. 100 रुपए का मिल्क है आपके पास, liquid milk. If you sell that milk, you will get rupees 100 as liquid milk. But if you convert that liquid milk into some value-added milk product, then you can earn minimum 125. Maximum it can go up to 200. So the farmers can think of it. They can get the training in the value addition of the milk products. They can start their own business of milk processing and earn more and more profit. Then provide the services and goods at the farmers' doorstep. And in summing up, I am saying that dairy sector is the growth engine of the agricultural economy. Various concerns are being faced by the dairy sector, and we have to address those concerns if we want to maintain its sustainability and further increase its income. And considering the cost of milk production, we have to consider the cost of milk production while fixing the milk prices. As in case of crops, there are various schemes on cost of production. So whatever cost of production, cost of cultivation is there, so based on that, the MSP of the crops is declared. Whereas in case of milk, there is no such provision. So there is need of considering cost of milk production along with other criteria. Other criteria means demand and supply. Then organized marketing of milk for the better returns. We have to increase the share of the organized processing. Then value addition of livestock products and byproducts for higher profits. Byproduct means, for example, whey is byproduct of paneer preparation. If we convert milk into paneer, whey is the byproduct. Normally, what we do, we discard the whey. But if we utilize the whey, we can convert that whey into value-added whey drinks. We can add some flavor and convert it into whey drink and earn the additional income. Then lastly, there is need of treating the dairy farmer at par with the crop sector for the funds allocation and for the subsidies, so that the dairy sector can be further developed for the benefit of the farmers, for the benefit of the states, and for the benefit of the country as a whole. So thank you very much. So if there is any query, so you are most welcome. Students, if any query, you can switch on the mic and ask. I am not able to see the chat box. If there is any query, please you can switch on your mic and ask. No query. Okay, students. So if there is no query, then thank you very much for sparing time. So thank you very much all. You can log off now.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Dr. Yeshwar?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now your mic is working. Now your mic is working.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, sir, for extensive talk. Okay, thank you everyone for participating. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.